Hey, welcome on in, everybody. Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking us on out. Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. Getting ready for a nice weekend. Dolphins making a little trade ski here today as they have picked up Chase Claypool from the Chicago Bears. I got to tell you, it was a genuinely shocking trade to me that went down for a couple of reasons. One, you think of Chase Claypool, he's been dealing with a lot of controversy this season with the Chicago Bears. Been a very unwelcoming situation where he was not trying very hard. It seemed like on film. He got absolutely went viral. I think it was week 1 or week 2 for a piss poor effort. And then basically was left inactive. Then he didn't show up, and people were like, well, were you told not to come, or did you not show up voluntarily? Did they tell you not to come? He was told, I was told to stay home. Then the coach was saying that wasn't true. So things were really ugly in Bears land with things that were going on with Chase Claypool. And we get the news today that the Miami Dolphins traded for him. And yeah, it was a little bit surprising just because you think about the strength of this team is the wide receiver core. They already have their top 2 guys. Really, I think have their top 3 guys if you include Berrios in there. They have already kind of done this with the guy that's been has worn out his welcome in some places with Robbie Chosen. But they do have injuries. They don't have River Craycraft. We don't know how long that's going to be, and it seems like that's going to be a pretty significant injury to his shoulder. We don't really know what's going on with Eric Ezukama. He's dealing with a neck injury. That's an old injury that they're worried about. And so then you look at the rest of the room, you're like, all right, who's here? Cedric Wilson. So, kind of a kick the tires. Let's see where we're at. Definitely, if you look at Claypool, is that big-bodied, receiver, 6'4", fast. The Dolphins love fast. Definitely more of a moose than Robbie Chosen, who's really, really skinny. So, yeah, it was a little bit surprising for me for them to make this move. I don't hate it. Look, here's the thing. The thing that you got to love about the Miami Dolphins right now is that they are at the place where they can kick the tires on things like this. And if they don't, okay. It's not really looked upon as it's not going to be this abject failure. I think the thing that I find interesting about it for a guy that looks like he wasn't giving the whole effort element to it, was that a case of just losing and being stuck in an absolutely bad situation in Chicago? They had lost, I think, up to last night, 14 straight. So that could definitely have an effect on a player, especially with their effort. I wouldn't think that would happen so early in the season, but it appeared like Chase Claypool was, I think Mike McDaniel used the term, wants to change the narrative on himself. And I think the thing that the Miami Dolphins probably look at, they basically gave up nothing. I mean, you're swapping the 6th, 7th round pick in 2025 and bringing him in where he was basically just told by the GM yesterday, I think, good luck. Good luck with your career, dude. And Bears are obviously riding high today because they had that big win on Thursday Night Football. Figure it's a good day to kind of put an end to this drama. Go into the weekend. Everybody forget about it by next week. Dolphins, they go into this game. It's a little bit weird, too. You trade for him on a Friday. Probably not going to practice, be part of things most likely next week. But for the Dolphins to make this pickup, they're at this point right now where they can, roll the dice on some of these things. We'll see this from time to time where if you're a winning team, you'll take on the head case to see, hey, he's talented. Let's see if we could drive him towards winning, and if that'll be in effect and that will motivate him to stay on the up and up. Only 25 years old, that he kind of does want to change the thought of himself around the league. And, basically since Ben Roethlisberger hasn't been playing with very good quarterbacks, this is the best quarterback that he's been playing with. So maybe Mike McDaniel thinks to himself, all right, get something out of this. We could do a little something with this. So I think that's the big takeaway from it. It's kind of a wait and see type of maneuver, but the Miami Dolphins being always in that spot where they want to improve, I get it. People are going to be sitting here and they're going to be like, well, we don't make a move at linebacker. Teron Armstead went on IR today. We don't make another move for linemen. We don't make a move at cornerback. It's like, yeah, all right, but the opportunities come where they come. Like, you can't just, first of all, the Dolphins didn't give up anything for him, right? Like, it was, we're talking super late draft picks in 25. So, by the end of things, they could just end up going and picking up a 6th-round pick later on down the line anyway. And this is one of those opportunities where, everybody acknowledges Chase Claypool has talent. I think that the idea that he got, wore out his welcome in Chicago, it was in a bad spot right now. You're hoping that the winning can be infectious on that part, And I think that you've even seen with Robbie Chosen in the early going of it, like, he is from down here. So, I mean, it's a little bit different, but he wanted to be on something successful after kind of kicking around on bad teams and getting into it with coaches and places. Now you have a similar situation with a different type of receiver, but a guy who can do a little bit of everything, was a special teams guy every once in a while, could get those little passes, from the backfield that they love doing. So that'll be interesting. There was a video that Cam Wolf posted of Chase Claypool finding Tua Tagovailoa last year on Sunday Night Football and coming over and greeting him and making a thing there. So that's definitely an interesting element to this thing too. But, I don't think any Dolphin fan right now could crap on this idea, because, this team, I think this coach is earning the benefit of the doubt to just try some things out, and see how they go. He said, we'll give him a chance to show who he is. Expectations are crystal clear, and that he wants to change the narrative. He says, obviously, you guys want me to say the thing that he's fast, and says you have to have a steadfast commitment to making your team as good as it can be. So, that's one of the things. I do think that when you're a team that is a little bit closer to winning, the team is going to call some things out. Tua kind of did this last week, right? He did this with the team where he was talking about, some of us needed a humbling. We needed that. And I don't think that Claypool, if he comes in here and is a pain in the ass, I don't think the team's going to tolerate that. So I'm all for it. Let's see what they got. News today, by the way, I mentioned a little bit earlier, but Teron Armstead officially on IR. So he's going to miss at least the next 4 games. That's a huge bummer. Simply because look, we already knew what the narrative was on Teron Armstead. I don't even think it's fair to call it a narrative, really, because it's the facts. Like, Teron Armstead gets hurt, and he deals with a lot of injuries. He's dealt with injuries basically since he's been a Miami Dolphin. And you knew that when you traded for him. You knew that this guy was excellent, but he had an injury past, and now the Dolphins are looking. They're going to be lucky to get 10 games out of him this year. Hopefully this is something that goes long, and he can get the season goes long, and he can get as healthy as he can to solidify some things. I think the thing that at least you're happy about is that, in the early goings of this thing, Kendall Lamb has looked pretty good at left tackle, but nobody wants to see him out. Nobody wants to see that you're already dealing with Teron Armstead missing a significant amount of time. He already missed the first couple of games, but now he's missing a significant amount of time going into this thing. So that certainly is not fantastic. Not fantastic as the Dolphins get ready for this matchup against the Giants, where you're hoping you can get things. I don't want to call it a get right. It's cardinal sin for Mike McDaniel, but it was cool hearing their defense coordinator, Wink Martindale, go out basically and saying that, it's like the greatest show on turf. The Dolphins are the greatest show on turf, but supersonic. And I was like, damn, that's Goosey's, dude. That is the supersonic greatest show on turf, or has been dubbed by many Dolphins the greatest show on surf. They've been, I just want to see things I do want to see things, try not to use that term, get right. I want to see the Dolphins fix their mistakes and perform really well against the team they're better than. The Giants have been really disappointing this year. Their offense has sucked. They have a ton of sacks. I want to see Vic Fangio, all this mumbo jumbo that he's throwing out there, fix it, dude. Get it done. And you want to see the Dolphins offense get humming again and use these next couple weeks to improve themselves, to get themselves where they should be, which is a very heavy favorite the next couple weeks, to set themselves up for a hell of a matchup on Sunday Night Football against the Eagles. That's what the goal should be. That's what it should. That's what the mindset should be in these next couple of games.